Good evening. 5 years ago, I used to arrive at work on time every day, but I still always managed to get there completely out of breath. I was never late, not once, but every morning I would step off the bus, I would speed walk the last 10 minutes of my commute, and then I would run up this big staircase outside of work like I was being chased. Halfway up that staircase one day, a little voice inside of me said, "Why am I running?" Even though I was always on time, my mind was still forcing me to move like everything was an emergency. It was this voice inside of me that quietly insisted that I was going to be late. It had power over me. And because I coach people for a living, I've started noticing this everywhere. Most of us are being led by thoughts that we never stop to question. Most of us are being led by that inner primal voice that is driven by fear. So today, I'd like to introduce you to 3 people that you live with every single day, and they all share your name. One of them is loud, dramatic, and it's just convinced that it's keeping you safe. That's the voice that makes decisions based on fear. That's the one that turns a commute into an emergency. Another one is the version of you that people see most often. It's your everyday self. And your everyday self has a power that many of us don't appreciate. It decides your tone, your actions, and your reactions. And another one is the clear and decisive version of you, the one that can be trusted to be the adult in the room. Today, we're going to call them your critic, your regulator, and your leader. And I'd like to give you one question that can change the way that you make decisions forever. What version of me is leading me right now? And I'm going to say it again. What version of you is leading you right now? For context, I coach and develop people for a living, which means I get paid to listen to the voices in your head. And I help you understand what's happening. I've worked with hundreds of people over the past 10 years whose critic is running the show. But let me show you what I mean. I'm working with a woman who runs her own interior design practice. When I first met her, I asked her to introduce herself, and she said, "I am a mum of 2, I am a wife, and I'm an interior designer." And you can hear it straight away. The first 2 roles are at the center of who she is. Her family are the reason why she wanted to work for herself in the first place. At home, she's the definition of leadership. She makes decisions all day long without even thinking about it. But in her business, a different version takes over. In the past, she would have gladly apologized for existing because in her business, she gave her power away. Same woman, same skills, and same heart. But at home, she was being led by the leader, and in her business, she was being led by the critic. Now, what changed everything for her was not learning a complex business strategy. It was simply noticing that she already had a confident version of herself that she was underutilizing. The simplest way that I can explain that to you is to picture your inner world like a car. In that car, there are 3 versions of you. In the back seat, just over your right shoulder, there is your critic. Now, the critic is loud and dramatic. It usually takes up very little space in your mind, but it has the most enormous, irritating speakers. It's just so loud sometimes. It says things like, "You can't drive like that? Is that what you're going to wear today? And who do you think you are?" Now, I think we all know an annoying backseat driver, but we're not here to talk about you today. We're here to talk about the voices in your head. Now, the critic sounds harsh. It is your fight or flight system. But underneath, it is just trying to keep you safe, even when the danger is not real. On the driver's seat, we have your regulator. The regulator, as I said before, is the version of you that people meet most of the time. It listens to the opinions of the critic, it listens to the opinions of the leader, and it makes one powerful decision over and over again. Who gets to hold the wheel? And you can feel that powerful decision in the tiniest of moments. You write a message, you delete it. You rewrite it, and then you send it. You put on an outfit that you love, but you're like, no, I'm just going to fold it away and put it on the shelf. You want to speak up and ask a question or say something, but you decide to stay quiet. The regulator always decides. And then to your left, in the front passenger seat, there is your leader. Your leader is the one that can be trusted to be the adult in the room. It's the one that can be seen when other people need you. With a child, with your partner, in a difficult conversation, you suddenly become clear. So when I talk about the 3 versions of you, I am not giving you a personality label. I am handing you a choice. The next time it matters, be honest with yourself. What version of me has got hold of the wheel right now? Most leadership advice tells you to silence the critic and be more confident. I do not buy that. I am not interested in killing off parts of you. I am interested in training, in helping and giving power to the version of you that makes that driving decision, the regulator. And that's what was happening for the interior designer that I was talking to you about before. A regulator kept handing power to the critic, but not anymore. Now, I'd like to try something with you, and you don't have to move at all. I wonder if you could close your eyes. Otherwise, you could look at a point on the floor or look at your hands. We will stay looking down for about 60 seconds. I want you to think of a time in the past few weeks when your leader was already driving. A moment when you surprised yourself with how clear, steady, and direct you were. It could be sending a message, wearing an outfit that made you feel confident, or asking a question when nobody else would. Just pick one scene and hold it in your mind. In that scene, how are you standing? How are you moving? How are you breathing? What was your face doing? What did you say or do that showed that you were leading? Now be really honest with yourself. Who was holding the wheel? Was it the leader? Was your regulator supporting it? Or was your critic trying to press the brakes? And I just want you to picture in that moment, you're holding the wheel, you turn to the critic and you say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but you now have to sit back and relax because it's the leader's turn to drive." And replay that powerful scene in your mind. You may look up again. You don't have to turn your life upside down. You're just testing what happens when you give power to the regulator to do what it does best. It allows a different version of you to lead in the moments that count. Now, the next time that you find yourself in one of these situations, think, what version of me is leading me right now? And that's what was happening to me on that staircase, and that's what was happening to the interior designer. Now, what I would like you to do is to zoom out. That was just one moment inside your head. But it doesn't end in your head. Look around. Who else is in the car with you? Your kids are in the car. Your family's in the car. Your partner's in the car. Your friends, your colleagues. We never sit alone in that car. When your critic is driving, everyone around you feels it. The hesitation, the second guessing, the braking. When your leader is driving, everyone gets a bit more emotional leg room. They can finally breathe because someone is actually holding the wheel. Psychologists call this emotional contagion. Your state spreads. So when you empower your regulator, you're not just helping yourself. You're paying forward steadiness, clarity, and permission to the people that share their life with you. And it works the other way around too. The more that you surround yourself with people whose leader take the wheel more often, the easier it becomes for you to let your own leader take the wheel. So let me bring this back to the one question that I promised you at the start. Inside you, there is a critic that tries to keep you safe, a regulator, the one that balances your emotions and your decisions, and the leader, the one that you can trust to be the adult in the room. You don't have to become a new person. You just need to notice who is driving in the moments that count. Like when I was running up that staircase and my regulator told me that my critic was driving. So if you ever find yourself shrinking, ask yourself, what version of me is leading me right now? And then do one small thing that the leader would do. Send a message, wear the outfit, or ask the question. Because leadership is not a title. Leadership is choice. Leadership is control. And leadership is power. And that power is yours every single day. Thank you.